Oh, that's me. Guys, I had a short dress because when I was 30, I thought I can't wear a long white dress when I'm 30, so I had a little. It was a nice.
Very nice.
But the funny thing was, it was a little jacket on the top, and by the time I got dressed, Barbara had gone, the bridesmaids had gone, Mum had gone, and there was nobody to button me up.
Oh no!
So I had to go downstairs to Gerald, who was talking to the man who was looking after Dad for the day, and he had to button me up. I must ask him if he remembers that. That's a good photograph of him, isn't
It is a lovely photograph of you both.
What year was that?
1963.
I was going to say that looks a very 60s style dress. That explains it.
I didn't have the little children.
No.
I didn't have the 2 3-year-olds. There's Margaret and Linda. Have you seen these?
I saw one the other day with Linda in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think some of them we've got, because I think Gerald had copies of some
Yes,
of them.
he would have done, yeah.
But not all.
That's a nice one of Gerald, isn't it?
It is.
Lovely. Come on.
That's it.
There we are.
There you are.
Look at the pointed toes we used to
Lovely
wear.
shoes.
Very,
I
very
love those
nice shoes.
shoes.
Yes.
On those roses, I think they're roses, they match the girls' dresses, and they have bouquets match my dress.
Right.
So that was nice, wasn't it?
That was lovely.
Yeah. That's my favourite.
That's lovely, that picture.
Yeah.
So you were 30.
I was 30, Stan was 36.
Ah. So you got yourself a sugar daddy, as they say these days.
That's right.
Mind you, there's 8 years between
We'd only
you.
known each other 18 months anyway when we got married.
Oh, swept you off your feet.
Well, I don't know if you know the story, but that was Margaret. She was only 47 when she died.
Oh, that's no age, is it?
She had MS,
dear.
and we'd seen her the week before. We went up to Derby. They lived just outside Derby. We went to visit her, and I was having to massage her legs for her.
Oh, bless her.
And this one evening, she said to Howard, her husband, "I'm just going upstairs for a bath." Now, up till then, he'd had to carry her upstairs,
Right.
give her a fireman's lift. But she said, "I'm going to try on my own tonight." And he suddenly heard this great big bang, and he went up to the bathroom, and she drowned.
Oh, my
no.
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So he didn't. We never knew if she did it on purpose or not.
Right.
That's Stan's sister, Sheila. She was older, Sheila was.
What was the story then? How did you meet Uncle Stan?
Well, I had a social club,
Right.
and was it then? Or it might have been at one of the dances in town anyway. And I met this bloke called John. I've forgotten his surname. And he lived his parents lived in Shrewsbury, but he worked in Hereford.
Right.
His funny job was he used to put labels on cows' ears.
Okay.
He worked for the Ministry of Ag and Fish.
Right.
And so he used to phone me up and say, "I'm coming up to Shrewsbury on Saturday. Would you like to come to a dance?" So I went to a dance with him. Anyway, this one night we were invited to a party out in the country at a farm. And we went there. And John was a super piano player.
Right.
Couldn't read music, but he was wonderful. So he and this other chap were playing duets. And when we were going home, I said, and Stan went in front of us in his new car, because he was a new rep. And I said to him, "Who was that chap that we were playing the piano with?"
Right.
And then the next week I went to this do at the post office social club. And who should be there? Because somebody said, "Oh, Stan Costley's coming." And I thought, what a funny name. Anyway, walked straight across the room and that was it.
Oh.
We danced all evening. And then
How
we went to a party in Bridge North in a hairdresser's. A lady who was a hairdresser had her party in this
Right.
place. And on the way home, we pulled into a lay-by and said, "Will you marry me?"
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, just like 2 months. And I said, "Yes, please."
Wow.
I always remember saying, "Yes,
Fantastic.
please. Yes,
That was
please."
whirlwind.
Dad was poorly at the time. There's Gwyn,
Right.
Sheila's son. He was, you mustn't call them moguls now. What's it called?
Down syndrome.
That's right.
We were wondering because there are a couple of photographs in the photographs we were looking at,
Yeah.
and there are lots of him.
Yes.
And we were saying there were two people we needed to ask about. One was him,
Yeah.
and one was there's a lady with fair
Blonde
hair,
flare hair, yeah.
curly. She's in so many photographs with you when you were younger. And I said she must have been a best friend or something.
Probably Sheila, expect. Was she fair?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, there's, you know who that is?
Oh, that's-
Can't see. Oh, Stephen.
That's
Yes.
Stephen.
Stephen.
Yes.
That's Stephen, that's right. Yeah. Giving me a horseshoe. And there's Linda when she was little. Yeah, lovely. That's
Nice cake,
All
yeah.
the family. There's Mum there in the middle. Because Dad died the following week, you know.
Right.
Oh,
Because we were married on the 5th of October and Dad died on the 11th.
Right.
He died when we were on our honeymoon.
oh.
We had a note, but we stayed in the Regent's Palace Hotel in London, and we were just deciding whether to stay for another week. And the note came under the door, so please ring this number. And it was Ted. And Ted said, Dad died this morning.
Just take my glove. Yeah, that's the lady who's in all the lots and lots of the photographs in the box.
yeah, that's Sheila.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my pal Sheila from work.
Right.
And this girl, she was from work as well. And that's Sheila's husband, Bob.
Right.
It was very tragic about Bob. I introduced them, funnily enough.
No.
And he used to work at the Sentinel, and they lived up at Copthorne.
Right.
And this one night, he used to ride one of these little like a motorised bicycle thing.
Right.
Mhm.
And he was, do you know where the Welsh Bridge is? You might
Yes. Yeah.
He was going around, there used to be an island there, he was going around the island, and he just dropped dead.
Oh my goodness.
Terrible. And a lady rushed over to him, and I don't know how she found Sheila's number, but Sheila had this awful phone call. It was awful.
That's not a phone call you want to get.
And then she got married again 6 years later, and the same thing happened to her second husband.
Is it next to Auntie Ginny?
Uncle Sam.
Oh, that's Uncle Sam, right?
Mum's brother, and
And-
his wife Auntie Alice.
Thank you. Good.
Yeah, and this is Dad's brother,
Right.
Uncle Charlie, and Auntie Dolly.
See, I've got no pictures of those people. I
No.
think I might have one which I thought may have been
Yeah.
Auntie Dolly
I don't.
on the family tree stuff. See, my eyes are at the
Oh,
point
no,
where it's
no,
either
those,
on or not.
That's Margaret and her husband John. In the observer corps with those two. Now John McGowan, they had a big fruiterer's shop in town. And then he used to go to Wolverhampton or Birmingham, the markets early in the morning.
Right.
Anyway, and he was also very religious, and he used to help at the Catholic Church.
Right.
On this one, it was Easter Sunday one year, and he was at the altar, and suddenly something happened in his mouth, and it was all blood came out,
Oh God.
and he died. That was awful, wasn't it?
A lot of these stories are about people dying very,
I know,
very
I know.
unexpectedly. Yes.
Those two.
Young.
Now Margaret died last year, I heard.
Right.
I don't know what happened to Barbara. Barbara Silito, she was a pal from the Observer Corps. And who have we got here? Oh, those are friends from church. Now that one there, you probably know Mick Hall,
Oh yes.
because there's his sons live next to Gerald.
Yes.
So that's Diane, he's dead now, isn't he?
Mm.
And those were two friends, I've forgotten their names, they're from Church Stretton. And these were golfing partners of Stan. He was a policeman.
Right.
And they didn't have any, she was a very severe teacher. And they adopted a child, and she used to be terrible with this child.
Oh dear.
And I used to say to her, Frida, why are you like that with her? She's got to learn, she said, she's got to learn. They lived somewhere by where David used to live, in the Midlands, near to the Belfry.
Oh yes.
Anyway, we went to Sunday tea with them once, and she'd made this trifle and covered it with all these little tiny things, you know, what are they?
Oh, those
Hundreds and
sprinkles,
thousands.
And they'd all melted into the...
Oh,
Oh.
no.
It was terrible.
Multicoloured cream.
It would have looked very yes, yeah. Psychedelic.
That's empty now.
Yeah.
Tell me something about the Observer Corps, there, Auntie Thelma.
The Observer Corps?
Yeah. When did you join that, and how did that come about?
Well, it was after the war, of course, because I wasn't there. Barbara was in the Observer Corps during the war.
All right.
And then later on, how old did I be? I'm trying to think, it was in the 1950s. They were asking for, they did an open night,
Yes.
and Barbara and I went, and she was with an old pal as well, who she used to be in the Corps with during the war. Anyway, they were asking for volunteers, and so I joined. And I was in for 7 years.
Wow.
There was 4 crews. I was in crew 4, and they that's why I used to meet on a Thursday night. First of all, we were up by the column, but that was only an old wooden building. Then they built a new place in another part of town.
Right.
So we used to go there. Yeah.
So what did you have to do in the Observer Corps then?
Well, originally, of course, it was plotting planes.
Yeah.
But when I was in it, it was to do with atomic.
Oh,
all
crikey.
those sort of things, you know.
So what were you plotting?
But you know, I forget quite a bit. And you used to have little things that you put it on.
Yeah.
And then you were on the headphones
Yes.
to people out in the country.
Oh.
Where all the, you know, the who used to do all they would do the actual observing,
Yes.
and we were just plotting what they.
Oh, they're feeding back the information. I see. And was that?
we were plugged into this big table.
Yes.
I've got a photograph of it.
Yes, I'll show it to you. I took a picture of it. That's why I was.
There's a big table, and then there's one on the side as well.
Yeah.
That you had to sit at the side of it.
There's some of you actually working at the table, and there's some of you watching from the balcony.
That's right. Yes.
And is that a paid job or was that voluntary?
Voluntary. You used to get paid,
Mm.
which was quite good.
Oh, nice.
But when you were up on the balcony, you were talking to these people who were in the outposts.
Yes.
So you were telling them what was on the table.
Right.
And that's why I know the alphabet backwards, more or less. You know, Alpha, Beta, Charlie, Dom.
Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf,
Right, yeah.
Hotel, India, Juliet, Kilo. Yeah, we used to have to do that. Not for Observer Corps. Very boring. In Barclays Bank, I used to have to dictate my letters, and they were typed by people 100 miles away.
Oh my goodness.
So you had to spell out every word like Shrewsbury.
So you knew that.
Yeah, oh yeah, yes.
It's very useful to know, isn't it?
Well, it's very useful to pass messages to people without the other people knowing what you're talking about, you know.
It is, yeah.
I used to say, oh, that guy's a Papa Romeo Alpha Tango.
Yeah.
A Pratt. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that was good. I tell you what, I'll get another album.
Yeah, they were lovely days. So, I think they're just all his colleagues.
Obviously.
I used to know them all because we used to have the Christmas parties and that, you know.
Yeah.
I've forgotten their names. Oh, that's Barry. Barry was very fat. And he used to drink a lot of beer, and he got his own bar at home.
Oh, right.
And we got a holiday when we went to, where did we go to? Holland, wasn't it? Stan won a trip to Holland for the weekend.
Nice.
A lovely weekend one, and Barry won it as well. But they had to sell so much margarine, you know.
Yes.
Right.
And we got a photograph. I've been trying to hold his tummy in.
I can relate.
Oh yeah, I remember him. He always used to go fancy to me. That one did. I had to be very careful.
Oh. Mm.
Oh yeah, that's a big group.
Always took a good photo, did Stan?
He did a very good
Didn't they?
photograph. Yeah. They had no lady reps now, but I think they did get one in the end.
Right.
But she's not on any of those, is she?
No.
Well, to be honest, sales per se for a long time was predominantly
That's right.
male dominated.
What it was, yeah.
So yeah, I see that Manor Hall, the retirement, 23rd of April, 87. Sorry, Moore Hall.
Yeah, lovely. Yes. Is this in the same album?
Yes.
Oh, I must have used it for something else. Huh? Who we got here?
I think this is the actual retirement do, isn't it? No.
Oh yes, this is at the golf club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. My eyes are so bad I can hardly see them. Yeah, there they all are. There should be your dad and mum and these and Barbara and Ted. Oh dear, everybody's gone. As me. There's Ted there. Oh yeah, she was Joan somebody. Her husband died.
Skip over Terry.
Yeah, there's yeah.
I see roses on the bottom. The photograph on the very bottom.
Dead. The there's one picture of Stan holding one of these long feather dusters. Did you see that?
Not yet.
Rosie Sixsmith gave him that.
Oh, right.
There's Rosie.
There's Rosie, yes.
There's Rosie. Yeah. Oh, lovely. Now then, where's her husband? Yeah, they've all gone now. Those have. But I think Rose is still alive.
Yes.
But she's living down by her daughter.
Yeah.
Jane Hughes. Now, now which one was that? Was that when Rose was lady captain and I was her vice captain? That was our ball, our winter ball. Yeah, it's nice of Rose, that one, isn't it? But she had a very funny dress on. I was amazed the funny dress she had on.
Yeah, oh, it's got the old...
Yeah. I made that one myself.
I was going to say that dress is very 80s with the puffy collars,
Puffy sleeves.
puffy sleeves. Ah, now
mine was navy blue with little tiny flowers on.
Now we need to know about these photographs because there's a lot of those. We've got lots of black and white ones, which must have been the proofs, I guess.
Now what they were, there used to be a company called Polyphotos.
Right.
And you went and you had 48 photographs.
Oh.
And then if you wanted one enlarged, you got it enlarged.
Yes.
But that's why there's all these numbers on it. Now these were the ones I had taken for when I was lady captain.
Ah.
And then I had to choose one to put it up in the hall.
Is it still up on the wall in the golf club, do you think?
It will be, yeah. There's a whole row of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will have to go and have a look at that one.
One of those, yeah. But the woman who was taking them always wanted your hand on your chin.
Yes. Oh yes, you've got to pose a bit.
But I forget which one I chose for the... It might have been that one that said the golf club. An ordinary one. They're not bad, are they?
No.
Look how dark my hair was, so wow. Oh. I was 54 then. What are these? Oh, I got them upside down. Yes, I have.
That's it, sideways, yes.
Some sort of do again?
I think that's probably late. Yeah, one of our do's at the golf club. We used to have a competition once a year where everybody brought a prize, and then you chose your own prize.
Yeah.
And it was quite funny. The one time I was last in this competition, and all that was left on the table was a red and white silk scarf, and I just bought a red coat.
Oh,
wow.
perfect.
Because everybody was avoiding this awful scarf. They thought it was dreadful. What have we got there? Oh yeah, they're all golf club things. These are all golf club dues. Yeah. What's that one? Pointing at something. Lovely. Oh, that's a nice one, isn't it? That's one of the dances we went to. Oh, those were the captain and the president of my year, Rod Lloyd, and he was a police officer. He was. He was a chief actually, and he was a secretary, and he was the secretary who stole the money from the club.
Oh no!
And disappeared.
I remember Dad mentioning about that.
Yeah,
Oh crikey!
Terrible man.
That little thing there says it was the annual ball 1986 at the Lord Hill.
That's right, the Lord Hill, which is no longer there now.
You've got a young one of Nan on the left as the starting point.
That's lovely, isn't it?
It is.
Mum.
Yes.
She was only about 18 or 19
Yeah.
then. Oh, wait till let me look at her dress. Yeah. I don't know what's happened to that one.
It will probably
That
find
was a
it.
painting.
Ah, yes. I always thought that that you had a balloon in your hand, but apparently it wasn't a balloon.
Bathing
It was a bathing cap, yes.
Well, I'm blowing something up, aren't I?
Well, Mum used to tell me it was a bathing cap, not a balloon. But who knows?
It looks like a...
I thought it looked like a balloon. But...
it was one of those balls you used to play with in the
beach
sea,
ball,
I think.
right.
Beach ball.
Yeah.
That's painted at the same holiday. I'm tickling Verna's toes there, I remember that.
Did your dad take that photograph?
Yeah.
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 It's really nice.
You won't see many of Dad on them.
No, because he's taken them all.
That's right. That was, I think that's Brixham, picture of Brixham. Good Lord. Look at all these. Lovely. Gerald and Verna standing on a wall.
Mm.
And that looks like evening, doesn't it?
Yes, a lovely family group.
Yeah.
It was quite funny because the one holiday we had where Barbara and Ted were, these little people, they were staying in the same little boarding house that we were. And the dad was a ship's captain. Well, they could only afford a blooming little boarding house.
No.
Ridiculous. But the son was ever such a funny lad.
Perhaps it was a tiny ship.
It might have been, yeah. I don't know if the son's on there, but he took a fancy to Barbara.
Oh. Was Ted on the scene then or not?
Oh, yeah.
Oh dear. Well, you can't stop people fancying you.
I think he was.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to be in these pictures, though, does
No.
he? Perhaps he wasn't on the scene then. But we knew him because he was
Yes.
a friend of your dad's. But I don't think he came on that holiday. But I know the one holiday we went, oh no, that was at Blackpool. But that's another story. But Mum, Dad and Gerald had to go up the road of Paynton to sleep in a different house.
Oh,
Right. Okay.
And Mum and Verna, Barbara and I shared one bedroom. But it was quite funny. Your mum used to swear in her sleep.
did she?
But we first found that out when we went to Blackpool. And Barbara, Verna and I shared a bed. And Mum and Auntie Dolly was put in the bathroom. They put a mattress in the bath, so we couldn't have a bath.
Right.
And we heard all this noise going on one
Yeah.
night. And Dad and my cousin Raymond and Uncle Charlie, they were heaving Mum and Auntie Dolly up into this bath. They had to have a little step ladder. What the people used to
What
do
did
to
they
make
need
money.
to get out?
She was a wonderful cook, the lady was, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's Paynton. See how steep the
Yes.
hill
Yeah.
is?
There's some lovely
That looks
pictures.
like the village of Cockington.
I think it was, yeah.
Yes, we've been there with the boys. Do you remember the big thatched thing
Yeah, that
outside
was.
a pub? Yeah, Cockington. It's famous.
Yeah, that's
world
quite
famous.
famous, wasn't it?
Yeah, just it's catching on the. That's it.
Yeah, these all look like the Paynton holiday. That'd be Brixham, I think,
Mm.
where all the fish were. Barbara fell over in the fish market, going through the fish market. The floor was so
no.
slippery, she went on her back.
That's a lovely picture of. Oh, hang on, Ted is on the scene there. He's on the right.
Oh, yes, there he is. So
Yeah,
he must have been with us.
yeah,
Mind you, we went down there 2 or 3 times.
yeah.
And one of the first times we went, I was about 15 or 16, and Mum made me wear my school uniform so they could get half fare for me. I was so embarrassed about wearing this school uniform on the train. Oh God, I didn't go back.
Well, I don't know.
And they loved me.
Yes,
Yeah.
Dad fast asleep. It's like he was this afternoon or this morning when we saw him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nothing we did would wake him.
What's that?
That's
Like
a
a
that's a mill,
water
a
wheel,
water
mill
mill.
wheel.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think that might be Cockington because they've got
There's
a water
Linda.
mill. Yep,
Oh.
they put her sideways for some reason.
Linda used to come stay with Mum and Dad quite often at a weekend.
Right.
And I'd be off to a dance. And I remember this one Sunday morning I woke up and there was this little face right by mine.
Oh.
I think I must have been snoring.
Not swearing,
Not
snoring.
No snoring.
No, that's
I
Mum.
was a snorer.
What sort of swear words did Mum use in her sleep?
Bloody.
Oh,
I'm sure they wouldn't have been really bad.
No, it was only bloody. And in her sleep we said, listen to Werner. Oh, that's Mum and Dad. That's is that the one of Mum feeding a seagull?
yes,
Yes.
she's feeding a seagull there, and this one down here is
Yeah,
a close up.
Yeah, Dad was a good photographer, wasn't he?
Yes, to
Yes,
catch that
very,
with an
yeah.
old SLR. yeah.
And when they came home, they'd gone by coach, and he could hardly get off the coach.
No.
And Mum managed to get him off the coach, and it was the next weekend he was taken ill.
Yeah.
He was paralysed.
Oh dear.
There's somebody's christening. Oh, that's
David's.
Stephen.
Oh no, that's Stephen's christening.
Stephen's
Yeah.
christening. Yeah, there's David there.
I was told I was christened, but I've seen no christening photographs of me. I reckon they just lied. They pretended. Well, no, you will know because you were my godmother, weren't you?
Yep,
Oh, there's one fallen out.
that's nice. Oh,
There's a sheep. That's Nan feeding
oh
a sheep.
that's right. They with Linda when she was little.
Yeah.
They were on their way to Wales, to the coast, I think.
Yeah.
That's nice, isn't it, Linda?
Yeah.
Chubby little thing.
I think this was Nan's old photo album,
It
wasn't
was,
it?
yes,
So
yeah.
you inherited
That's
it.
right. There's Uncle Bill.
Yeah.
And that was taken at Windsor, right? There's a Windsor Castle at the back.
Yeah.
Because they weren't far from Windsor where they lived.
No.
Yeah, I loved it to see these. And there's Auntie Ginny again. Oh, there's actually a photograph of Dad.
Mm.
Oh, so Mum must have taken that one, mustn't she? Because there's Uncle Bill, Auntie Ginny, and Dad. Huh. And who have we got here? Barbara, Ted, and Linda.
Yeah.
It's awful when you look at these to think a lot of these people are no longer here,
Yes.
isn't it?
But it's life, isn't it?
It is life, yeah.
It does. But I love old black and white photos. There's something not the same about modern photography.
That's a nice one of your dad there.
It's
Yeah.
it's nice and
That's David and Linda and
Yeah.
Nan. Yeah. Haven't seen that for years.
no.
I last saw that about 20 years ago, I think.
There's Ted.
Mm-hmm.
Ted and Dad used to go on a Sunday morning for a walk and take photographs because they were both. Oh, we went on that's my friend Linda, Sheila there. We were on the Great Orme.
Oh. That's by Llandudno.
Obviously, I took that. Oh, these are lovely, aren't they? What is that?
It looks like a railway station,
I know. I
isn't it?
tell you what it is.
Oes Llanfairpwll Guinness go Gerrit Gwyndraobbeth Llantysilio go.
Well done, you can say it properly.
You can't do this noise, can you?
It's close. It's close.
Can't do the what?
Llanfair Puss.
Push.
Gwyndraith.
What Dad used to say with the double L's,
Yeah.
because you know he was brought up in Barmouth.
Yeah.
The double L's, you say it like an F
Yes.
down the side of your tongue.
Yes.
At the back here.
Yeah.
As if you've got a speech impediment.
Llanfair Puss for short.
Yes.
I've got I think I've still got it in my drawer. A great long thing with the whole words on in long
Yes.
letters. And I gave one to one of my neighbours who was interested in it. Who's that? Where? Oh, I think is that cousin Brenda?
Yes, it is. That's
Brenda
Brenda.
and Jack, I think.
Yeah. Don't know where it is. But,
There's Dad.
Exactly on the side of a road.
I think it's Snowdonia because there's the mountains in the background.
That's right, yes.
It's probably around Harlech somewhere looking at this.
Probably.
Oh.
All these things. That looks like both.
And who's this film actress over here?
You what, dear?
Who's this film actress on the right-hand side?
I wonder. But at one time when we went to Borth, we were in the sea. It was lovely to swim there. And then suddenly it started to rain. And everybody was getting out of the water. Barbara and I just stayed in the swimming. I said, well, why? Why
We're
did it get
wet.
because it's raining?
Yes, quite. It's a bit silly, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've seen that before. I do.
Yes.
I love that.
That one,
photo.
that was taken at Chatford Drive. I was just going out to a dance. But what always amused me, I nearly got a flower pot coming out of my head.
In fact, that's one of the ones in the loose box that I photographed because on the back of the one that I've got, it's written, taken at Chatford Drive.
That's right. Yeah, I was just,
Cropping.
yeah.
Where was this one taken, do you think? It's on a beach
That
somewhere.
would be, that was probably when my friend and I went to Italy.
Oh, yeah, it looks...
Yeah, we went to San Remo in Italy. So I made us both beach jackets because it was so hot there, you know, sometimes you'd have to put something on to cover you. Where is that? Oh, we're on a beach somewhere. Yeah, they're lovely, aren't they?
They are.
Oh, that is taken near to Painter. There was a place called, we stayed at Torquay that year, and Goodrington Sands. And there's Linda. Look at that. Me and Barbara. All being silly. These are lovely, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes,
There's
they
Linda.
I remember that car with the boat on the roof.
Do you remember that?
Well, I remember seeing the photographs. I don't think I was born when that was taken. That would be...
No, Stephen was the baby there
it'd be about
because
59,
we
so-
had to put all the luggage underneath it.
Yeah.
And in the front there was your dad and Werner and Stephen on her knee. And then in the back there was a mum, me, Dad, and David, all squashed together in that little car.
Where did you use the boat then? Did you go out
We
on the
went
sea?
to Nevin.
Ah, right.
I was a holiday in Nevin, and we'd hired a house. I think that's the house we hired.
Oh,
It was a
yeah.
lovely house, that was. Look at little Stephen there, little squitty Stephen.
Yeah, these are the photographs. Did you go back there? Because I've seen photographs of Grandad, your dad, with a walking stick, but he hasn't got a walking stick there. So.
No, that was at Llandannog.
Oh, Llandannog.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, he was
By the gatepost.
He was still working then, I think. Yeah. Oh, lovely, aren't they?
Mm.
Gosh.
Same holiday.
Yeah, those hills are called the Pistols, I think. Pistyls.
Ah, close to the Pistol Raider,
Yeah.
where the big.
Yeah,
waterfall.
and when we were there, Barbara and Ted brought out Nangi and Grandad Parker to see us on the Sunday.
Yeah.
So that was why everybody's there. They were only there for the day.
You're on a motorboat there.
Oh. Yes, it was one of those little fun things, you know.
Yes.
That's Barbara and I. And
Come in number 9. Yes.
that's right. Yeah, that was at Goodrington as well. And all these, lovely, aren't they? Oh. What is that one? This Ted?
It looks like they're kind of camping. There's a sort of tent affair going on. Linda, Ted, and it might be Mum and you with the back and Nan by the look of it.
Yeah. I don't know where that was.
Lots of tents there. I don't know if there was
Near to a campsite.
guides or something.
Near to a campsite or something. Oh, they're lovely, aren't they?
Oh, look. Clifton Suspension Bridge there.
Yeah. What?
Clifton Suspension Bridge on the left-hand side by Bristol.
Yeah. There are some photographs in those boxes that of Clifton Suspension Bridge.
Easy for you to see.
I wonder what they were doing there. It was quite funny because there was one beach we went to, and it squeaked,
Oh, yes.
and it was because of fleas.
Yeah.
And Stephen cried his head off. He would not stand on it.
No.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't either.
No.
And so we had to buy him some little shoes to put on, and he still wouldn't do it.
No, we've got pictures of on that beach where they had to put a towel down for him to sit on, and he refused to move off it because
right.
it squeaked. Yes.
What baby is that? And that looks like Auntie Dolly, probably with one of her grandchildren.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
Dad. I've actually put in an appearance. That's me.
That's you. That's Stephen and you.
Yes.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's lovely. Uncle Charlie, and that's going to my wedding, that is. And you see that coat? As I made, because I used to go to tailoring classes, and I made my mum a nice blue coat, like almost like a denim one, with a lovely lining. And Auntie Dolly liked it so much, she had to have one, but I made hers in green.
Oh.
So she used to show off the lining. Uncle Charlie was a scream, he was lovely. What baby is that then?
I don't know. Can't be me because I'm too grown up, unless it's out of sequence. I don't know who that is.
There were a few. Has it got a fluffy? I can't see clearly from here because of my glasses. There's a few of David with a white fluffy hat on when he was
might
little.
be, yeah.
Oh, looks like.
Oh, that was
Okay, so it's Clifton Suspension Bridge on the left. But,
Yeah.
But that doesn't look like Bristol Cathedral. That must be somewhere else. Maybe.
I think that's the one where the monks are down.
I'm just going to see if there's anything, just in case there's anything written
I
on the
don't-
back of it. But
Beginning with a B, I think. Who's that there? No, that's nobody. It's just
Can't
they're
tell.
just pictures, aren't they?
I think that's Cheddar Gorge.
yeah.
That one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody feeding the seagulls again? Is that your mum feeding seagulls again?
Probably.
She used to like feeding seagulls.
Well, they feed themselves, don't
They
they?
do.
The damn things. I know, because she was eating an ice cream one day and it pinched the ice cream, swooped down and pinched the ice cream.
There's a Belson victim at the bottom. That's me. Looking a bit.
You're a bit stern, aren't you, there?
It's probably the squeaky sand.
Yeah, I remember coming to babysit for you when you were living in Montgomery, and we used to come out occasionally. And Stan came with me this one night, and you started to cry, so we fetched you down, and you were sitting on the very end of my knee, because you were very suspicious about this old lady. And I don't know if you remember at Montgomery where the dining room was. I think there was 2 little windows.
Yes.
And you were looking around, not saying a word, and suddenly you looked at this and you said, "Muffs."
Do you know what? I remember you telling me that story about 40 years ago. Muffs.
Muffs, it was lovely. We did laugh. And you had to come down when we were just learning to play bridge, and we were playing bridges one night, and Gerald had to fetch you down, and you started yelling. So he gave you a sip of whiskey.
Oh.
That shut you up.
Well, yeah.
And another party we had at Montgomery, I had you and Christopher both, 4 or 5, sitting at my knee, and I was giving you little bits of sherry out of my glass to quieten them down.
That's where I got the alcoholism from. Yeah.
It's my fault, you see.
Yes. That's a nice one of Nan. I've always liked that one.
That's nice, isn't it?
I think she's trying to pull my ears off, but that's at Llandannig. I recognise the little church in the background.
Ah, lovely. Oh, there's Linda. Is that Linda?
Linda and Christopher, yeah.
Yeah, that was in a photo studio, I think that was. He'd laugh if he saw that.
You're right. So here's the one with your dad with the walking
that's right,
stick
yes, that's
outside the house at Llandannig.
He'd
Yes.
gone very little there, hadn't he?
Funny enough, the year after Mum passed away, Dad and I had a little journey in the car, just him and me, all the way up to
Did you?
Llandannig, and we stood outside the gate of that house.
Did you?
And then we had a look at the church, and he went round all the
lovely.
gravestones.
That
I
was
know,
nice, wasn't it?
brought back memories.
Look at that grumpy face.
What? What are
That's
you
a
talking?
nice photograph, that.
Not grumpy at all.
Apart from Grumpy Rob.
I'd just been woken up. Leave me alone.
Where's that? Oh, there's Auntie Dolly again. Oh,
least
now,
it's
that
using.
man there is Auntie Dolly's brother, Jack Harris, and he was in the Navy, in the war. But he was a what do they call them when they go in as boys' service, you know?
Yeah.
And during the war, his ship was blown up in the Baltic.
Oh, right.
Was it the Baltic? No, right up north, you know,
Yes.
near to Russia. And he was in the water for days.
Oh.
And his balaclava froze to his face.
Oh, my God.
It was terrible.
That's August 1960. So it says there Sunday,
Just before you were
28th
born.
of August 1960.
Good heavens.
So 1 month before I was born. Yes.
Yeah.
There
Nice.
must have been some sort of reason for putting a date on that photograph.
Yes.
Must have been, mustn't there?
And that's a nice family shot of you all.
Oh,
That's
that's
outside St Albans, is it?
outside St Albans, yeah. We're still all 5 together before Barbara got married.
Yeah,
It's nice, that.
that is lovely.
Yeah.
Your dad's looking so cool
And
now.
there's me looking grumpy. I did not want to be nursed.
It runs in the family, us looking
I
grumpy.
didn't want to be. I remember that. I didn't want to be nursed by my big sister, and she insisted on holding me.
Yeah, and looks like
That's
dad's
inequality.
just laughing there. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do we got? Oh, my wedding.
Yeah,
My
Mixture
wedding.
of
That's a nice one of Dad,
photographs,
isn't it?
yes.
it is.
Yeah. All the people that were there. Yeah. Lovely.
Ooh, more.
Oh.
David.
Yeah.
That's not David,
It is, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it
Yeah, it's
is.
Dad holding David, and then
is it?
yeah.
Doesn't look like David to me.
No, well, that was just before he went through his evil stage.
There's Dad and Uncle Charlie in Uncle Charlie's garden.
Ah,
There we are on the Great Orme again with my pal.
somebody in a cot. I think that's probably David.
That could be.
Oh no, hang on, that's
It'd be Linda.
Linda,
because
yes.
that's Barbara
Yeah.
there. That's right. Yeah, Barbara's wedding.
yes.
Yeah.
Just going into church. Now that dress that she wore, my cousin Harry had a very beautiful Anglo-Indian wife.
Yes.
Oh
And
yes.
she was very slim, and that was her wedding dress.
Oh,
And she lent it to Barbara.
Yes, I think I'd managed to get a photograph of her from somewhere. It must have been out of
Yeah.
your dad's photographs to go on the tree.
Gosh, we're all being very friendly there, aren't we?
mm.
Who took that photograph then? Must have been Gerald, because Verna's there, isn't she?
Yes.
I wonder where that was.
Who's the fella on the end?
Who's the fellow?
Is that Ted?
That's Ted, yeah.
Ted.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at his hair.
I know. Ted, Barbara, Vern and me.
Yeah.
Mum and Dad.
Yeah.
Now, where was that taken? That must have been down at Paint or
Yeah,
Torquay.
it looks like it.
Torquay, yeah.
Look at these cars. Wow.
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, lovely old cars.
That's Uncle Bill on the right, isn't it? So Uncle Bill, Auntie Ginny.
That was Uncle Bill's car.
Yes.
Yeah, Morris 8, I think it was.
Looks like it.
Morris 10, something like that. And you know, Auntie Ginny was so particular that when she came to stay at our house, she used to bring her own feather bed.
Oh, really?
And on the back of the car.
Dear.
And Mum used to be furious because we just had ordinary beds, you know,
Yeah.
but they liked their feather bed. So if you couldn't put up with it for a few days, that's nice.
It's just
isn't
not something you think of doing now, is it?
No.
I want my own bed. Let's just put it on the back of the car.
it? Oh, that's nice. That's a chat for drive. That is.
Yeah. Stephen's christening.
Stephen's christening. That's right. My dad. It's lovely. that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Linda.
Barbara said Linda somewhere.
Oh, that's one of your dad.
That's that.
Very young.
With his straw
Oh.
hat.
Ooh.
Yeah, we
They-
don't have a picture
I
of
want
that.
to take that one.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we finished, I want to
That's
take
nice.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be. I don't know if they were married. They might have been married there, but
Yeah.
there's another photograph somewhere with a group of them in their straw hats, all lolling like they used to in the 1920s.
Yes.
Didn't they?
That
Oh,
look.
that's Nevin as well.
Yeah.
That's the house at Nevin. Gerald and Dad.
Mhm.
As Dad got his arms, because when
Arms behind his back. Yeah.
when we were at the house, Dad was going to make some tea, and he'd forgotten it was an electric kettle, and
Oh.
he put his arms across the steam. So
Oh.
we had to bandage him up for the rest of the week. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Oh, my wedding.
Yes. David.
David. That's a school photograph.
Yeah.
isn't
School
it?
uniform. Yeah.
His features were very pixie-like when he was younger.
They
weren't
were. He had pointy
pointy
ears.
ears and very pointed features.
That's Auntie
I'd
Barbara.
forgotten that one. That's Barbara and Ted
yeah.
cutting their wedding cake.
Yes.
I'd forgotten that one. Oh, that's lovely. That's their wedding again. That's
Yeah.
nice. Mum used to have a photograph, so she had taken out the three of us together.
Yes.
So I don't know where that is. She used to have it on the sideboard. Gerald in his uniform. I remember taking that to school one day in its frame.
Yeah.
And we had a lovely young teacher called Miss Bill. She was our form mistress. And I said, "What do you think of my boyfriend, Miss Bill?" And she looked at she blushed. I said, "That's my brother." Oh no, there's a funny story here. We used to have, when we had the flower show in Shrewsbury, in the old market hall, there used to be cheap jacks. Anyway, Dad must have had the afternoon off or something, and we went to hear these cheap jacks because they used to be so hilarious. So they had some soup dishes. So Dad said, "We need some soup dishes." So this man had got his thumbs over like this, wrapped them up in that paper. We got them home. And when we got them home, we said, "Canadian Pacific Railway."
Oh.
Oh, it's so funny.
Typical. Yes.
That's a nice one of the three of you,
It
isn't
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's lovely, that.
Yeah, at least you're smiling in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because most of the pictures with you all together, you're frowning.
That's a chat for drive, because I remember
Yes.
the old book, it's in there now, that bookcase. Oh, lovely. They're really nice, aren't they, these photos?
They are.
Your mum and dad's wedding,
Yes.
weren't they young? That was a Monday, you know. Did you know they got married on a Monday?
31st of
Well,
March.
I knew it was the 31st of March because my mum and dad's first marriage, was the 31st of March because it was all to do with tax allowances, wasn't it?
No,
Oh.
because a bloke who lived in St Ormond's Square, he was getting married on the Saturday, and they were both getting married on the Saturday, but Colin's best man let him down, so
right.
Gerald became his best man.
Oh, right.
So they got married on the Monday instead.
Well, theirs wasn't the tax dodge.
Well, the
but
end of
know
I think the end of March
the
was
end
the
of
tax
March is
dodge, but
definitely-
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
in
to
our
the tax year.
office, you know, I worked in salaries and wages, and we all got married in October
Right.
because
Half year.
you got a whole year as a single woman, tax relief, and a whole year as a
as a
married,
married
woman.
woman.
So we all got big tax refunds. Oh, that's a chat for drive.
Mm.
David and Oh, that's somebody's funeral.
Yes, it looks like it.
Auntie Ginny's, I think.
There's a few
Oh,
fallen out
that's
there.
nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, a lovely wedding. That's the only picture we had taken on honeymoon. It was by one of these professional photographers. That was on our honeymoon. Oh,
Where would that be?
London.
London.
London,
Ah.
yeah. And the funny story. Oh, there's
the boat.
There's the boat that
The
sank
boat.
when your mum
Oh.
jumped in and it sank.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because it was fiberglass and we were just testing it. But when we got down to London, Stan had booked, we got married in October. And when we got to the hotel, they hadn't got our booking.
Oh, no.
No.
And they were looking for it. And then an older lady looked at, I was sitting across the room in the hotel lounge, well, the foyer. And she looked at me and she pointed, she said to the girl, no, you've got to find them a room, look. And I was all dressed up, of course, in my
Yes.
fineries. So they found us a room and they moved us the next day.
Oh.
So
Oh, these are a couple of odd ones.
Who is that?
Who is that?
that is my granny.
Oh, so
Yeah.
on the mum's side or
On dad's side.
Oh, right. So
Yeah.
that's my great grandmother.
I think that's who it is anyway. I've got. There used to be. We used
Is
to have
it
a great
loose?
big picture
Yeah.
of Granny with Dad.
Yes.
You had it at so.
It's not loose, it's stuck in there.
All right.
I can't look at it.
Well,
I'll have a look at it close up in a sec.
I'll take a photograph of it to take it back.
Yeah.
That's Mum when she was young.
Yes,
before she
you can
got
tell
married,
that's mum.
with a
Nan.
cat.
Yes.
With a cat. Yeah.
With a cat.
Do you know she used to have a dog? I think they called him Whiff or something like that. And there's a picture somewhere of her
Yeah.
with the dog, but she washed it with carpet soap. She got the wrong soap, and the poor thing died.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That's Mum.
Yes, that's not a very flattering one of her, I
Yeah.
don't think.
Can you
It's
see
the-
with a broken tooth?
Oh,
That
right.
was quite funny because years later she had false teeth, and she dropped a top set one day and broke the same tooth.
Oh, you're joking.
Yeah, that's funny. That's St Albans Place. That's our black cat called Kim. He was nice, lovely cat. He grew into, Kim. But we had another cat because our old cat was never done, like they do, and she was forever having kittens.
Mm.
And her last kitten was so tiny that Dad called it Dinky, and he used to feed it with a fountain pen filler.
Oh, really?
Dad used to feed it himself, and it grew into a monster. It was huge when it grew up, and your dad used to box with it. We had a curtain over the back door, and Cheryl would get behind the curtain, and this cat would go mad and fumbling away.
Yes. Dad was always fighting with our cats when we had them. I think that's just mum, isn't it?
That's your mum, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like one of those places where they have miniature.
Oh, that's had to be Beaconsfield.
Yeah.
Beaconscott. Beaconscott it was called, in Beaconsfield.
Summers. Emily Summers. Is that
That's
who that is?
Jack and Brenda on their wedding day. Jack, Beale and Brenda. He was, when they met, she was only 15, Auntie was a bit put out about it. That's Elsie and Doris Waters at Llandudno. Do you remember? You wouldn't remember those. They were two comedians. They were sisters.
Oh.
And their brother was Jack Warner. Have you ever heard
Oh,
of
I've heard of him,
Yeah,
yes.
he was their brother.
Ah.
And this was taken at Llandudno when Mum and Dad were there.
Oh, let's
What
look
is
at that
that?
one.
Is that upside down?
Sideways. That looks like just a Barmouth, perhaps?
Oh, yeah, we were right when we said it was going to rain.
Doesn't look like
No,
Barnum.
I don't know. It's got a... Don't know.
It's probably another Llandudno
Put
one, I
those to
think.
one side. What we got here? Don't know. It's another seaside one.
Yeah, that's a Great Orme, isn't it?
Ah.
Because if you walk round the Great Orme, it looks like that. And Mum and Dad walked all the way around it on the road.
Not sure about that one.
That is at Auntie.
Oh, your dad is there.
Yeah, that's at Auntie Ginny's in her kitchen. They were making tea. Who's that person there?
Don't know. Don't recognise her at all.
I think it was a relation of Beryl's, Harry's, because she looks dark skinned, doesn't
Yeah.
she? Yeah.
Okay, next one. That's
Barbara.
Barbara.
Barbara at school.
You can tell that.
Look at that face.
Lovely.
Okay, oops,
Oops,
sorry.
sorry.
I'll get those for you in a sec.
Okay.
And is that Brenda and Jack?
Brenda's wedding, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was me. I had a lilac coloured dress, and the little bridesmaids were all in yellow.
That's lovely. Well, that was a
And
great.
Jack was a twin. That's his twin brother.
Oh.
And the awful it's terrible to say this, but I always remember he had the most terrible breath. I don't know if he ever cleaned his teeth or not, but you know, you could smell his breath from a mile away. It was awful. Oh, those are lovely, lovely photos, Rob.
They were.
Really nice.
That's it.